In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on learning as a life process, meaningful to expand one's life course. Engaging daily learning, one is committed to engage nearly each day, is more likely to elicit positive, meaningful emotions connected to one's self-discovery process, cultivating what's meaningful to engage more practical wisdom, deepening existing priors that are often practical and distinct situations that engage more doables in what opens up opportunities to solve complex problems and or engage more meaningfully in what's around one, exploring one's aesthetic absorptions as one recognizes certain component parts and or processes one is more curious by, to explore its intrinsic processes and or intrinsic properties with the internal and or external characterizing of what's meaningful in terms of the descriptions one may provide and define the internal and or external characteristics, engaging within one's subjectivity, the deliberations that compare within comparative analysis, variable B, A, D, to infer X. What connects B and D meaningfully? Inferring certain causations that may itself cultivate practical wisdom. One may, within future-oriented experiential encounters, engage to optimize one's subjective well-being, and or may engage more creative solution seeking to urgent problems needing to be solved within the practice of engaging learning processes within each day with the appropriate cultivation of the appropriate ration to think more clearly, starting often with reason, as rationality is more complex than reason, needing itself valid, never invalid, nor irrational reasons, connecting what is uniquely internally and or externally valid, meaning what works, to what is true, and or not just what is true, what is meaningful, not meaningless, yet relevant and or appropriate and or meaningful, being most meaningful to solve the problems with descriptions one can connect and or communicate clearly. There are many individuals whom may hold the self-knowledge and or self-awareness of a variety of truth claims from prior existing learning experiences, completely meaningless in terms of solving complex problems and or engaging practical day-to-day necessities within one's existentia to satisfy the essential and or necessitated underlying psychological needs, calibrated more to one's self-preferences, that is indicative of a higher self-intelligence in terms of one's navigations of their own unique self-knowledge and or self-awareness, calibrated to their needs, to the exclusion of unimportant meaninglessness in terms of the inappropriateness, satisfying counterproductive, essential and or necessitated psychological needs that are harmful within more hedonic instant gratifications instead of more eudaimonic meaning building within one's existentia. most needing meaningfulness processes within the learning process, connecting what's relevant and or appropriate and or intrinsically meaningful to one's experiential encounters with certain relevant and or appropriate pangs of dissatisfaction that are hanging one to think more clearly about what is needed to satisfy appropriately one's appetites of self, calibrated uniquely to self-preferences with wiser volitions and or conducts one may cultivate within exploratory learning and or the practice engaging certain repetitions of learning, meaningful to truly instantiate more solidified reconsolidations of original creative solutions to one's appetites of self, that the pangs of deprived, essential and or necessitated psychological needs one needs to satisfy on a day-to-day basis existingly holds the need to cultivate the appropriate knowledge within one's need for knowledge. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Continue this Aprendizagem.